A trade just happened yesterday that broke the NBA and created a strong championship contender in the East. The Miami Heat are running on fumes and are trying to stay within the top 6 in the conference for playoff time. And Charlotte, their season is all but over right now. And they need to load up for the future and make room for the stars. So on Tuesday, Terry Rozier was traded to the Miami Heat for Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first round pick. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, the Miami Heat fleeced the Charlotte Hornets. 24-point score for a 9th grader and a point guard with a badonkadonk. There's more to that, I promise. It's all in the details, okay? Yes, the Hornets are ass, but not that kind of ass. And this deal might make them a contender in ways you don't even realize. Let's start with what the Heat got first. Heat fans, you're getting Terry Rozier, a 6'1" combo guard who can play both the 1 and the 2 and simply give you pure buckets. He's like a draw to Uno card of the NBA. Unpredictable, but very effective if you play your hand right, especially when everyone least expects it. He would pay dividends instantly on the Heat as he fits both their culture and the playstyle they so desperately need. He's accountable, defensive-minded, and plays fast, which they need with Jimmy, Bam, Tyler Herro. He also lives for the 4th quarter. Whether down 40 or down 3, he will be giving you buckets in the 4th. While being in the league, only him and Steph Curry are the most clutch shooters in the NBA, as they shoot 36% in the clutch, the highest. Getting rid of Kyle Lowry also creates cap space for the Heat to play with, as they intend to get more players before the trade deadline. The only downside is on defense, especially when it comes to the playoffs. He is great in the passing lanes, but being 6'1" in a very tall NBA, it's just not gonna cut it. He is a liability on the pick and roll. One screen and he is done and out of the play. That would make him a liability for the Heat's playoff hopes if it gets exposed. To go back to that draw 2 Uno card, if you put that down and everyone else has a draw 2, and yes, you're allowed to stack them no matter what the rules say, you're kind of screwed if it makes its way all the way back around. If everyone else in the league has that bucket getter coming off the bench or just starting, it negates anything that Terry does. The Heat have played checkers, but I think the Hornets have played chess with this move. Acquiring Kyle Lowry does put more money on the payroll. But beauty is, it's his last year. With him gone and Gordon Hayward's contract coming off the books, the Hornets will have money to play with, which is the greatest asset you can have. We're talking $90 million to play with. Oh, but who would want to come to Charlotte in the first place? My friend, free agency isn't the only place you can spend money. They could be making a splash on draft night for a trade, or in the offseason too. Word on the street, they're not done yet, but they also have a more powerful weapon in their back pocket. That 2027 first round pick, it's lottery protected. Meaning, should the Heat somehow, some way not make the playoffs in 2027, that pick is the Hornets to keep. And say if they do, say the Heat do make the playoff, well, that pick goes to 2028, and it's the Hornets to keep unprotected. No matter where the Heat finish, it is the Hornets to keep. That's 3 to 4 years away, I know, but who knows what the Heat would be like in 3 to 4 years. Now, you're just hoping the Heat are that. Unless you're like me, a professional hater who's always been hating the Heat since the beginning of time. Overall, I like this trade, especially for Terry. It's crazy to think that I hated him until this year. He's been here for 5 years. And mind you, we got him from the Kemba Walker trade, which honestly played into my delusional hate. And man, it's crazy to think that we might have won that trade, but we didn't really win much with him. And it took until now, where everyone was hurt and he stepped up and played in a huge way, for me to come and actually like him. It's like having a brilliant actor in a poorly written play, where their talent stands out but isn't really appreciated, and now he's traded away. Heat fans, I hope you cherish him more than I could ever do. You got yourselves a real one.